Okay. As Monty Python said quite often, and now for something completely different. So let me tell you, my name is John Canosa, by the way. I'm General Manager of M2M for Thingworx. What I'm going to do here is tell you a little bit about Thingworx, the company. I'm going to give you a short overview of our platform. We're going to do a demonstration, give you a demonstration of an application, and then we're going to build something very cool, and we're going to do that all within 15 minutes so that Carl doesn't get on my case. And the other thing is, what you're about to see today, there's a lot of new things that have never been shown before in public, so you are going to be feeding through the fire hose here. So a little bit about Thingworx. We are different. What makes us different? Well, one of the first things that makes us different is that we're a new company. We have an almost unfair advantage of actually being founded in 2009 and have been able to take advantage of a lot of modern technologies that have been developed since some of the first generation M2M platforms came out back at the turn of the century. The other thing is that the team at Thingworx is made up with people with years of experience in M2M, including people like me who did M2M before it was called that, as well as a team of people with years of experience in enterprise platforms. And in fact, one of SAP's marquee products was developed by the team at Thingworx. And so our goal was nothing short of something revolutionary and to create the first complete platform for M2M 2.0, or the connected world. And by complete, I mean out-of-the-box connectivity to hundreds, if not thousands, of types of devices, integrated database, something we call our 3D data store, a platform for rapidly developing applications, and because it's a platform, rapid integration with systems of many types. One of the things that we looked at when we started creating this platform is some of the challenges that we see in the world today. First, and people have talked about it, but the user expectations are substantially different. The millennial generation expects their applications to be mobile, searchable, mashable, and in fact, what they're really looking for is mass customization. So how do you deal with that? The other thing is, of course, everybody talks about, in the next decade, there's going to be 20, 50, whatever the number, billion devices. It always has a B in it. But what people tend to miss when they talk about that is, what that means is there needs to be millions and millions and millions of new applications developed to support those devices. Otherwise, they're not adding any value. And if you think that you're going to be able to just open up Eclipse and start writing code and generate millions and millions of applications, then you've probably hit the bar already, because it's just not going to happen. It just doesn't make any sense today. The other challenge is that M2M is no longer just about machines. Certainly, we've got connectivity to, and our own connectivity to devices of all types. But it's about integrating with people, systems, and things. And so from the get-go, from day one, this is a platform that was designed to create or to interact and integrate with systems. It's a platform designed to allow people to collaborate. It's a platform certainly to bring in the things, but also external web services, things that we haven't even thought of yet that are being developed every day. Let's talk about some of the design goals of our platform. One is to create a broadly horizontal platform. And if you look at the kind of the categorization we make of customer spaces, whether it's sensors and devices, connected products, or connected industries, and the sub-verticals within them. And by the way, everything in the red there, we have real customers in those verticals created with applications created on the Thingworx platform. But the key here that I want to point out is to be able to support those different verticals, we really needed to focus on reducing application development time by an order of magnitude. That was the goal for the platform. Some additional goals. We are a platform. We do not sell applications. We are an application platform, and that's what we want to be. And so in order to do that, it demands that we build up an ecosystem of partners, whether it's Thingworx ready partners with hardware and services, whether it's Thingworx powered applications based on the Thingworx platform, or our system integrator partners. One of the things obviously we need to do to attract them is to demonstrate value, and a lot of that value we get is by reducing their application development time by a factor of 10. Another thing that we understood from the get-go is that devices and M2M is going to generate a lot of data, but it isn't just about device data. And business doesn't just thrive based on device data. It's about the data that's already in our business systems. It's about the data in people's heads and the information in people's heads or in unstructured data. So being able to make sense of this data and drive business intelligence from this, we developed a technology we call Squeal, which is really real-time distributed search for the real world. And we'll show you a little bit about that in the demo. But we also recognize that there are a lot of big data solutions and things that can be solved, business problems that can be solved using big data analytics. And so we've got partners such as SAP with their HANA platform and Numenta with the Grok platform. And even there, by working with us and integrating with our Squeal technology, we're able to reduce the big data analytics problem and the development time in developing applications and analysis around them by a factor of 10. Certainly another design goal is, we're not a wireless provider. Don't pretend to play one on TV either. And we need to work with our partners who do provide that capability. But more importantly, we want the applications that are developed using the Thingworx platform to seamlessly integrate the ability to do provisioning and bandwidth management and all that subscription management that you need to be able to do. And we've got to be able to do that rapidly. And then finally, we live in a very heterogeneous world. We deal with a lot of different vertical markets, and those vertical markets have differing requirements around deployment. Some people, software as a service is fine. Some people, it's absolutely verboten. And so our platform is designed, it can be run in the cloud, you can take it and run it on premise, and in fact we have a federated model where you can have multiple servers tiered at customer sites, tiered up to your central server, all the way down to taking our edge microserver technology and integrating it right into the products directly. And doing so and being able to create those deployments in a fashion that really reduces the development time of that solution by a factor of 10. So the results, what we really have delivered is the first application for the platform for the connected world, or M2M 2.0 as people like to call it. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but we've actually enabled a 10x reduction in application development effort. But you don't have to take our word for it. We've got customers that have validated this to us, and in fact, we have customers that have told us that we're actually underselling it. They're seeing 13 to 15 times reduction in the speed at which they can develop these applications. As an example, and a case study here from OnFarm, a partner of ours, water today is a scarce resource, and these guys make essentially a cloud-based smart farming solution. And using our platform, they were able to develop and roll out a solution literally within weeks, rather than something that might take months or even longer. And the farmers are seeing a significant advantage in using their platform, 10% reduction in water usage, 3% yield improvement, because they know what they're doing now. They have much more information at their fingertips. What we're going to show you today from a demonstration standpoint is we're going to I have a little video that I'm going to queue up in a second that shows you a little bit about the Thingworx platform itself. And then I'm going to show you a composite application, which is actually really made up of three real-world applications, because trying to show a single application from a single customer doesn't allow us to show the true broad-based nature of what can be done with the Thingworx platform. And in this example application alone, we are going to see connectivity to the iDigi platform. We're going to see connectivity to the Eurotech Everywhere Cloud, as well as provisioning services provided by Ericsson. We're going to see Thingworx' own connectivity using our Edge microserver and our always-on connection integrated with the Labellium sensor, Zigbee-based sensor networks. We're going to see integration with the Verizon Enphase provisioning platform, as well as web-based services such as Yahoo Weather and Twilio and Google. All of this is going to be driven by an SAP back end, and of course we're not going to forget about the people and the social collaboration via Twitter, as well as just discussion forums and blogs and wikis and things like that. So that's what we're going to show you today. What I'm going to do now is queue up this video to give myself a little bit of a chance to breathe. Let's see if we can bring
Welcome to Thingworx. In this short video snippet, we'll show how key parts of our application were developed. With Thingworx, the entire application is built through Composer, our end-to-end application modeling environment. From Composer, you model the connectivity, the things, visualization, data storage, collaboration, and the security required for the application. As we've shown, we are demoing a regional brewery with a wide range of connections, including Thingworx direct-to-sensors, iDigi, Verizon, and Eurotech device clouds. In this part of the presentation, I'll demonstrate provisioning mobile devices via the Ericsson DCP and pull environmental data via the Eurotech Everywhere Cloud, as well as use Thingworx's patented always-on connectivity infrastructure to retrieve beer tank level and temperature from a Labellium Meshlim gateway. And we'll also connect the brew tank production into SAP for inventory management. So let's start by provisioning the brew tank sensors via the Ericsson DCP. Within the Composer, we can filter the view and pull up a list of external connections to see if Ericsson is installed. Here we see Digi, Eurotech, SAP, and Twitter, but not Ericsson. So we'll go to the Thingworx App Store, where we can download Thingworx-ready and community-supported platform extensions. Here we'll select the Ericsson extension and start the download. This retrieves all the necessary components required for the Thingworx server. After the import is complete, we can navigate back to the Composer and confirm that the extension was installed properly. Thingworx extensions are unique in that everything that's required for the extension to work in a plug-and-play fashion is installed. In this case, this includes the provisioning services and properties for the Ericsson DCP, along with all standard user interfaces. Having these pre-configured extensions is one of the key things that enables the 10x increase in developer productivity with Thingworx. So let's look at the default mashup for the Ericsson DCP, which provides visualization of wireless data usage. As one final step in this demonstration, we'll show you how we virtually configured the beer tanks and connected them to the actual remote sensors using the Thingworx always-on Edge microserver. Let's pull up the beer tank template and configure it to include integration with our remote brew tank sensors, as well as SAP for inventory management. Within the editor, we can view the properties and set up the bindings using our Edge device so that remote property readings will be available in real time through our app. It looks like temperature and level are the two properties available, so we'll drag those over to create the binding. Secondly, since this is a remote device template that we'll use for every new beer tank that comes online as our system grows, we'll want each of these to be set up to integrate with SAP for inventory management. This is accomplished by simply implementing a pre-built SAP inventory shape, which includes the necessary properties and services for integration with SAP. Once that's complete, we can confirm that the template is configured properly and we're ready to provision our connected beer tanks. Now that the model is done, we can go into the codeless mashup builder to create the user interface for our application.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is actually walk through an application, and in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through the whole application. We do have a booth at the conference later during the week if you want to come, and I can give you a detailed walkthrough. But in the interest of time, we're going to just touch on the highlights. So the first screen we're seeing is kind of the traditional M2M monitoring, and we can do alerting and things like that. And we also see our integration into the Ericsson, live integration into the Ericsson DCP device management platform. The second screen, this is a regional brew pub. They've got a small fleet of trucks. They want to be able to monitor the location of their trucks, essentially perform some fleet management. But we've also integrated the ability to do cold chain tracking for this. Now, this happened to be built by a partner of ours on top of the Verizon, and so we can go and see and integrate with the Verizon device management platform as well. But we could have easily integrated some of the great fleet management tools that we've just seen in some of the presentations here, because that's what Thingworx is about, is integrating with those other platforms. From a business standpoint, we can see our connection into SAP. We've got things like order tracking and order management. One of the things I think it's important to notice here is as we're going through this, Thingworx is used to build real interactive applications. This isn't just a dashboarding tool. And in fact, we can go in here and do some correlation. So if we've got a complete order and there's some customer complaints, we're able to go back into the history and in our 3D storage model, been able to relate the cold chain information back to that particular customer and delivery. And so this is another example of really integrating device data into your business. Energy management, obviously an important thing here. In this case, we can go out and using some projected energy requirements that we've created based on data collection, we can go out to the ISOs and request and essentially make requests for the lowest cost energy provider to help us run our business. And of course, we can purchase that energy through the SAP system. Weather forecast, collaboration, internal collaboration, being able to rapidly create discussion forums, blogs, and wikis. And of course, no business can survive without focusing on the customer. So here's a beer tasting mashup that people can come in and rate and rank the beers. They can actually go out there and tweet about the different beers. And in fact, we can see our integration with Twitter here and know what people are saying about our beers. And in fact, we can see that everybody seems to like the Hop Devil here. So one of the things I really want to point out here is every screen that you've just seen here was created using our mashup builder tool, and not a single line of HTML, JavaScript, CSS, or anything was used to create all these pages that you're seeing here. So I can imagine the judges are probably sitting there, got two things on their mind. One is, how the heck is that possible? And two is, I could really go for a cold beer right now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone, and we're going to fly without a net, and we're going to create an application on the fly using our mashup builder. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a new mashup. And this is our mashup builder. We're going to give it a nice M2M master template. And what we're going to do here is kind of create a tabbed application, and you'll see why we're doing that in just a little bit. So I'm going to bring our tab widget onto the screen. We're going to size it accordingly. We're going to, right now, we're just going to have one tab, and we're going to call that beer location. We'll even put a small O in there. And of course, to create this, we need data. Well, where does that data come from? Well, that data is coming from that modeling environment that we saw on the video here. So if you saw in that video, we were creating that refrigerated truck template. So we're just going to go in here, we'll filter on that, and when you see we've got the refrigerated beer truck, and there's a whole bunch of services and capabilities provided by that refrigerated beer truck. One of them, this query things, brings back all the information about all of our trucks. The next thing we got to do is we got to tell that service when to execute. Well, when the mashup loads, we just want to run that service. Simple as that. Next thing we want to do is add some visualizations. So what we're going to do here is we're interested in location, so we're going to bring a Google map on here. We'll size that to something halfway decent. And maybe we'll put a grid. And so we're going to just drag this table on here. We'll resize that a little bit. And the next thing we got to do is just supply the data to the mashup. So I'm just going to drag the data set that's returned, drop it on that map. We're going to tell that map that we want to display location. And I don't know, maybe we want to display a tooltip. So we're going to say tooltip will be the M2M truck info. And we want to see, say, in that tooltip, the driver name. We'll do the driver phone number. We'll grab a photo of the driver. And of course, we want to know what the heck the cargo is. Same thing on the table. So we're going to just drag that same data set. We're going to go in here. We're going to configure it. We're going to say, we certainly want to see the cargo. We want to see the name of the truck, but we want to see that first. So we'll just drag that to the top. And of course, we're interested in cold beer. It's cold in Rochester. We'll save that, and that's it. So we're going to save this as Battle of the Platforms. We're going to view that mashup, and here we go. We've got our mashup. We've got synchronized widgets, all done within about 30 seconds. Now, we see that we've got 4 trucks here. Not realistic. What if we had 4,000 trucks? What are we going to do? So we talked a little bit about Squeal. Squeal is implemented both as a standalone application, and some widgets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag this data filter widget on here. Whoops, Carl's pushing me here. We're going to drag our data filter widget on here. We're going to wire that up real quick. What this widget does is it allows the end user to create queries. Oops, I'll open that up. It allows the end user to create queries on the fly. So no waiting for IT to create reports for you. The end user has control. When a new query gets generated, we want to re-execute that mashup. So now we've got our mashup, but we also got our filter. So we can go in here and say, I'm interested in trucks that are nearby. So I'm going to filter on location, and we're going to say within 15 miles. And let's head on down to Miami Beach here. So let's select Miami here. Save that filter. And now you can see we're down to 2 trucks within Miami Beach. But we're also interested in the ones that are carrying Hop Devil. So we're going to go in here, select the cargo. We're going to say hop. Save that. We're filtered down. We can see that we're down to 1 truck. And in fact, in this application, we're able to SMS the driver to reroute them based on emergency conditions or what have you. So we're going to say
1601 Collins Drive.
Yeah, can you stop by the convention center? Well, send that SMS, and our driver, who looks vaguely familiar, by the way, will receive that SMS and be able to come up and deliver that beer.
So the driver got the SMS message.
He's got the SMS message, and he also has a receipt.
Link in here.
A link for a receipt, and that receipt actually goes back into the SAP system and delivers that order. Right. One other thing we want to do while Chris is getting that receipt taken care of is I'm going to go in and let the judges do what the judges do best, and I am going to add just a little bit more capability to this application. I'm going to say instead of one tab, we want 2 tabs. We're going to actually put in a tab for beer tweets and let our judges rate and rank that beer and open up that tab. One of the things in Thingworx is that mashups can contain other mashups. So I can go in here and we've got that Twitter feed that you saw before. I'm just going to drop that on the screen here, view that mashup, and now we've got an application with 2 tabs. And in fact, we'll go in here and add our judges. So we're always on Carl and Mike Sapien. Oops, extra B. We go out, grab their tweets, and here's a list of the latest tweets from our illustrious judging panel here. And so we'll be looking for tweets around about Hop Devil as time goes on. So hopefully you can see how rapidly you can create applications using the Thingworx platform and understand that these are true interactive business applications that integrate with data from multiple sources. This goes far, far beyond just developing dashboarding. So that's all I have, and like I said, we'll be around all week if anybody wants to see a full-blown demo or ask questions, booth 216.